So if you're someone that's looking to start AliExpress dropshipping, but you're confused on what it is, how it works, and how you can get started, you've clicked on the right video because I'm going to take you through all of the steps that you need to be aware of, the steps that I wish I knew before I got into it, because it would have just sped up the process and allowed me to understand things a lot quicker. And I do need to say before I get into this video that you shouldn't treat it as financial advice. All I'm simply going to be doing is giving you guys the information that I wish I had from the very beginning, because again, it would have clarified things and just made the pathway a lot easier. So just treat this video as a form of education, but I'm sure if you're able to stick with it from start to finish, you're going to get a better understanding as to how AliExpress dropshipping works. But for those of you that are completely new to this concept and you're not really sure of exactly what it is and how it can potentially earn you an extra source of income, let me quickly just define it so that everyone that's watching this video is on the exact same page. Now, it's actually quite simple, and I would say that it's probably one of the most simplistic side hustles that are out there. All it comes down to is building some sort of a dropshipping store where you're going to load it with winning products. And the way that dropshipping works is basically where you don't need to buy any inventory in bulk. With traditional e-commerce, you're going to have to get some sort of capital for you to buy a whole bunch of products in bulk for you to sell them one by one. But with the dropshipping method, you don't need to do that. All you got to do is list a product on your store, get qualified customers or potential customers onto your store to see your product page. And fingers crossed, if you're able to generate a sale, the supplier, in this case, the AliExpress supplier, is going to ship the product directly to the customer. There's so many different suppliers out there that you can choose from, and AliExpress may not be the best option, but what I would say is that it's one of the best options when it comes to people that are just getting started. And this brings me on to some of the pros and cons that you need to be aware of when it comes to getting started with AliExpress dropshipping. The first pro is that there's low startup costs. As I've already said, you don't need to spend any money on inventory or anything like that. You know, AliExpress is quite simple in the sense that you can create your account, go onto it, and you're going to have access to all of their different products. Which now brings me on to one of the second pros, which is that AliExpress has one of the biggest product selections out there in terms of all of the other dropshipping suppliers. So this is definitely a great place to go onto if you're looking for a variety of different options for products that you can start dropshipping. And even though, yes, I would say having a big database of products is definitely a pro, you do need to understand that there is a con that comes with that, which is that there's so many different suppliers that are on AliExpress that may not offer the best quality. One mistake that so many beginners make is that they assume that AliExpress is one single supplier, when in fact, there's multiple different vendors. You know, some of them have really good quality, some of them have bad quality, some of them have really good customer service, and same thing, there's others that don't have the best customer service. You know, the list goes on and on. So you need to make sure that you do your research for whatever vendor you're looking to move forward with. I'm going to explain exactly how you can figure that out as we move forward in this video. But this now brings me on to one of the next cons, which is that so many different suppliers on AliExpress offer long delivery times. So when you're picking your supplier, when you're thinking about selling a product, you need to make sure that you're looking at the shipping time so that you can offer your customers, you know, decent service so that they don't have to wait months or weeks for them to receive their order. And again, I'm going to show you exactly how you can figure out the shipping time as well. Now, the way that I like to figure out the shipping time and just generally finding products that I may want to drop ship from AliExpress is to go over to AutoDS. AutoDS is one of the biggest dropshipping softwares that are out there right now. You know, they've got thousands of different reviews just within the Shopify App Store alone, and of course on their Trustpilot as well. So that's the reason why I like to use it. You know, there's so many different ways that you can use it, and I'm going to be breaking that down in this video. But one of the initial ways is when it comes to figuring out which product is worth selling, because you can log into your account just like this. And by the way, they offer a 30-day trial. I'm going to leave them in the resources down below. Once you've created your account, you're going to see this marketplace. And from here, you're now going to be able to select whatever niche you're thinking about centering your dropshipping store around. So in today's example, I'm going to click on pet store. From there, what I'm going to do is click on supplier. And as you can see, there's all of these different compatible suppliers that work well with AutoDS. So of course, in this case, we're working with AliExpress. So I'm just going to click it just like that. And as you can see, these are all of the options for us to choose from. And if you keep scrolling down, you're going to be able to see, you know, an item that maybe stands out to you, an item that you want to do a little bit more research into. And AutoDS is also going to show you the estimated shipping time as well on this page, because as you can see with this product, it comes with 16 business days, 12 business days, 11 business days. And if you keep scrolling, you're going to be able to find shipping times as low as 9 business days. Now, the one that I'm going to use as an example is this car seat for dogs. And the reason for that is because if I just go over to Google Trends, we can see worldwide ever since 2015, more and more people have steadily gone onto Google to search for this keyword. And the reason why this is important is because if you're looking to get organic traffic going towards your product, you want to make sure that there's a high interest for the item so that you can get as much eyeballs and hopefully be able to turn those eyeballs into sales. So for the rest of this video, I'm going to be using this product as an example. So now that I know what item I want to sell, this brings me on to the next step, which is to start the process of building your store. So what you got to do if you want to build a Shopify store, if you don't already know, is to go over to this AI store builder. I'm not going to bore you with the details as to how it works because I'm sure most of you have probably already seen it. You know, it's fairly straightforward. It's going to take you through some questions. There's going to be certain things that you need to do when it comes to activating your store to make sure that everything has been optimized in the right way. One of the first things is that you're going to need to activate your Shopify trial, which is going to allow you to use Shopify for an entire 3 months. In my opinion, Shopify is one of the best platforms to use when it comes to starting Aliexpress dropshipping because you're going to be able to integrate so many different apps to your Shopify website. You're not going to be restricted to the amount of products that you can sell. And generally speaking, Shopify have made it easy when it comes to using it because you don't need to break the bank when it comes to getting your online store built because again, they're going to offer you that 3-month trial with no restrictions. And the main reason why you want to use the store builder is because the alternative is trying to design a Shopify store yourself. Now, I'm not saying that it's difficult. It could definitely be done. If you're someone that's built a Shopify store before, you can go directly to Shopify, start the process of building your store and, get the theme. You can get a free theme, go through the process of making sure that you've optimized things for both laptop and mobile phone. But the main reason why I recommend the store builder is because it's going to give you a fully optimized store centered around the niche that you're looking to build your store around. So in this case, I'm going to build a pet store and this is what it was able to do. So it's taken me to the back end of my Shopify account. What I'm going to do is just click on view your store so that you guys can get a better look. Okay, so here we go. This is the pet store that it was able to build for me. As you can see, everything looks quite decent. It looks good. If I click on catalog, you're going to be able to see that there's all of these different products that's been added to the store as well. Don't worry, if you didn't want to sell any of these items, you're going to be able to easily remove them within the back end of your Shopify account by clicking into products. And you've got complete flexibility when it comes to updating the store in terms of customizing it to whatever brand that you're looking to build. Now, there is going to be certain things that you need to do on the back end of the store to ensure that it's been, built in the correct way. First and foremost, you're going to need to sign up for Shopify payments. Depending on your location, you're going to be able to either do it within the back end of your account by clicking on settings and then clicking on payments. So as you can see within this account, I'm going to be able to complete my account setup with Shopify payments. This is how you're going to receive money directly into your account. Some locations you may need to sign up directly to Stripe by going over to stripe.com, verifying your account, your details, and then from there, you're going to be able to connect your Stripe account to your Shopify account. Another thing that you're going to need to do during this process, once you've set up your payments and you've also connected a PayPal account as well, is that you're going to need to get a domain. And when I say domain, this is what your customers are going to use when it comes to directly going onto your website. And there's so many different domains out there that you can choose from, .com, .co.uk, but I would recommend for this type of online business to get a .store domain. Imagine being able to own an online pet store called www.petsupermarket.store. People are automatically going to know that you're selling some sort of product, which is going to psychologically let them know that they're in the right place if they're looking to buy a particular type of item. From the research, a .store domain is likely to get 87% more traffic, and it's also going to potentially rank 2 times more higher in the search results. And the thing is, it's not just me that's saying this because there's so many different big brands right now that are using .store. We've got Mr. Beast, we've got Rihanna, we've got Cristiano Ronaldo, even the Emirates airline store is also using a .store domain as well. And there's a limited time offer. If you wanted to get one for 99 cents, you're going to be able to do it by going directly to the link in my description down below. You're going to be able to see a coupon code that you're going to be able to use as well. And another benefit of using a .store domain is you're going to be able to get access to Elevate.store, which is a online toolbox that has various different applications, softwares that are going to help you when it comes to being able to build your AliExpress dropshipping side hustle. For example, discounts with Canva, you've got Google Workspace discounts, Upwork discounts, there's so many more, so I'll definitely recommend that you check that out as well. But once you've built your store, you've sorted out your policy pages, you've set up your payment processors, and you've also connected your .store domain as well, the next step after that is to start listing products from AliExpress onto your newly built store with the help of AutoDS. So I'm going to be using this product, as you guys already know. And the reason why I'm using this one is because I've already checked the reviews, I've checked the shipping time as well. If you want to check the review of a particular listing, the way that you can do that is by clicking into the link. It should then take you over to the actual product page on AliExpress. And over here, you're going to be able to see the reviews. As you can see, 4.9. And you can see the amount of times that they've sold the product. And you can also, on the right-hand side, see the return policy as well. So if I want to list this product, because my Shopify store is already connected to my AutoDS account, as you can see over here, it says Pet Store. All I'm going to do is click on Import Draft. And initially what AutoDS is going to do is add the product into your draft so that you can cross-check it, make sure that you're happy with everything, because AutoDS is pulling the information directly from the AliExpress product page directly into your AutoDS account. So you can now look at the title. If you're happy with it, you can leave it. If you want to change anything around, you can do that. The product page as well, this is what it's going to look like. The variants, you're going to be able to see if there's, any sizes, any colors that you need to be aware of, as well as the images. You can, keep all of the images. You can remove a particular image. I'm going to leave it as it is because it looks quite decent. And if you wanted to optimize things with AI, you're going to be able to do that simply by clicking on this button right here. But everything looks okay to me for now. So what I'm going to do is just click on Save and Import, and it should now start the process of listing it directly onto my Shopify store. And just like that, within a few seconds or so, it's been able to do it. It's now been completed. So for me to view it, what I'm going to do is just click on this link. And there we go, guys. As you can see, the product is now on the Shopify store that I just built. Everything is well structured. I didn't have to do anything besides what you just saw me do. And just to re-emphasize why I like using the AI store builder, if I just go onto my iPhone and open up the site that I just built, as you can see, it's optimized for mobile phone as well. So if I'm sending traffic to this site, customers are going to be able to scroll through it. They're going to be able to add the product to their cart just like this. Everything is perfect. Everything has been done with the help of AutoDS as well. The only thing that you're going to need to do from this point is, of course, understand what goes into driving traffic to your site. And there's two different ways that you can do it. You can either run paid ads, or what you can do is use organic traffic. Now on this channel, I've been showing you different ways that you can use organic traffic, where you can also automate it as well, so that you can get a steady flow of potential customers going onto your site, so that hopefully you can turn them into paying customers in the future. As you guys can imagine, there's so many different pros and cons that goes with paid ads as well as organic traffic. So it really does depend on what you want to do. My advice is to use a combination of both, but if you're someone that doesn't have a big budget, then of course just focus on the free organic traffic. I'm going to be explaining how all of that works in a moment and how you can get started with it. But what you also want to make sure that you do once you've got your store built and you've also started driving traffic to your store is to make sure that you've automated the back end in terms of making sure that the supplier updates are going to be updated on your store accordingly. And that might sound a little bit confusing, but let me just paint the picture for you. Imagine you're using an AliExpress supplier and they're selling the product for a particular price. Let's say they're selling it for around $9.99. So you've now priced the product at around $30, but for whatever reason, they've changed the price of the product to around $30 as well. Of course, if you're selling the item at that price point, you're going to end up making a loss, or you might break even. So you need to make sure that you've got a system in place so that the price is always going to be updated accordingly, so that you're not going to be in a position where you're losing money. And that's where AutoDS is going to be able to come in, because with AutoDS, you're going to be able to use it when it comes to setting something up called price monitoring. This is a really powerful tool because, again, if there's any changes with the supplier's price, it's going to be automatically updated on your site. In addition to price monitoring, you also want to make sure that you're setting up something called stock monitoring. And the way that this works is in a very similar way, where if the supplier runs out of stock, you're running targeted traffic to the product page on your site, but now the supplier hasn't got any more available units to sell, then this could be a problematic situation to be in, because you don't want to generate sales without having product to be able to ship to your customers. So another way that you can use AutoDS is with their stock monitoring feature, which is going to make the product out of stock if the supplier doesn't have it available. So that's the powerful thing of connecting a software like AutoDS to AliExpress, because there's always going to be that middle man making sure that everything is how it should be, so that you're not going to have to sit there every single day, watching the laptop to make changes for maybe 50, 100 different products that you might end up selling. And whilst we're on the topic of automation, I would say that one of the final things that you should set up within your AutoDS account is auto fulfillment. This is where you don't have to sit there with your debit or credit card in your hand, placing orders every single time that you make a sale. Because if you're new to this entire AliExpress dropshipping concept, what's going to happen is that the customer buys the item from you, again, for let's say $30. If the product costs $9.99, you're now going to have to go over to your supplier to buy the item from them. And if you're doing this manually, you're going to have to copy and paste all of your buyer's details every single time. And with this, so many different mistakes can happen. So that's why I recommend using AutoDS's auto fulfillment feature, because with this one, when a new order comes in, AutoDS sees it and automatically makes sure that the product has been shipped out. You just got to go into the back end of your account, select auto fulfillment, and from there, everything is going to be handled without you having to, again, stare at the laptop 24/7. So for the most part, those are some of the most important things that you need to know when it comes to building up a AliExpress dropshipping business. Again, the most important thing is going to be building up traffic. And if you wanted to do that in the most effective and most simplest way possible, it's going to be with organic traffic. And what I'm going to do is leave a video right there where I'm going to break down how you can do that as a complete beginner, how you can set things up step by step. Again, nothing's going to be easy. Nothing's going to happen overnight. It's going to take consistent effort. But for those of you that are able to be patient, those of you that are able to put the work in, before you know it, your entire life is going to potentially change. So just make sure you check that video out straight after this. And also make sure you press the like button if you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification so that YouTube can let you know once a new video has been released. And be sure to check the description down below for some free resources that will definitely help you when it comes to understanding all of this much better. But other than that, guys, I'll catch you on that next video. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.